Boyfriend of over 2.5 years cheated on me online. Help. Sorry if I'm not doing something correct, as I hardly post on here, and I'm sorry for any errors and poor wording. It's just hard to relieve and word properly. I have been with my boyfriend, 26M, for over 2.5 years now. We moved in together very quickly due to some of my home circumstances, and life for the most part has been peaceful and good. Our apartment is in both our names, we have 2 loving kitties as well as a snake and a frog. His family loves me and things have just been going for the most part great. We have had some problems due to my boyfriend having an addiction to some unhealthy porn intake behaviors before, not just normal porn watching, but I don't really want to digress here. We had worked it out and I had reached a point of total trust in him, and I was truthfully and obliviously someone who thought I was immune to being cheated on, lol. A week and a half ago, my boyfriend woke me up at 4 a.m. to tell me he had something to confess. He went on to confess that he had exchanged nude photos with a girl he was playing a game with on Discord fairly recently. He is no stranger to staying up incredibly late to play this game with friends, but had recently branched out to make new friends to play with outside of his friend group, and as such is where he met this girl. She apparently does OnlyFans and had offered to send him photos while voice chatting alone, to which he accepted, but she asked for a nude of him in return, which he also accepted and did. I would also like to mention that this woman knew he was in a relationship, so I harbor a lot of anger towards her as well. For a week after this, he continued to stay up late chatting to her while I was asleep. Due to her not always being able to have her mic on, I was able to see some regular messages they exchanged, which entailed my boyfriend offering to pay for her some food and sending other kind messages, as she was, I guess, self-pitying and just being pessimistic about herself. After he confessed, he was extremely distraught but expected my anger and accepted some harsh words I said and telling him it was over, etc. He went to his parents for a couple days and we attempted to reconcile, to which he has been home since and we are trying to move past it. The problem is that I really cannot move past it. It is incredibly fresh on my mind and he is trying, to his credit, to redeem himself and treat me with love and kindness. I am not naive and I understand that this is normal behavior for someone who has done something like this, much like abuse, but admittedly it's hard to tell if it's genuine or not. He has offered to grant me access to any of his devices and accounts at any time I please, and to pop in on him whenever I want when he is up late on his PC, which has never been an issue before, but still. I have told him that it's going to be incredibly hard for me to trust him again and he understands this. I have a lot of anger still pent up that I don't know what to do with. It would absolutely break me to end things, as I have attachment issues and I would have to figure a lot of things out as to where to go and what to do, so I have remained here with him. I just don't know what to do with my anger and grief over the person I thought I could trust. I have defied every person's advice to just leave him due to my mental attachment condition, if you will, and the external situation of the home life, etc. I am mortified that he will do it again even if he promises he won't, and that he is suffering from his own actions. Even if he never does, I don't know how to recover from this. I talk to him about it and he listens to my feelings and validates them, but I feel like it will never be enough. I told him the only way he could fix it at this point is to never have done it to begin with. What do I do? I love him dearly and this has just turned my entire world upside down. I feel like I don't know him anymore and the life we've had has been so fruitless to me, even if I continue to stay and things get better. I know I have been a good girlfriend, but my self-esteem is crushed. People who have been cheated on, what do you do to cope and feel better? What did you do if you had a situation like mine? I've written the girl messages in my notes, and I'm too scared to send them, but they felt incredibly good to write out. They're not vulgar or mean and I don't care to have a conversation with her, but I wrote it anyway to let her know how she hurt me too. What do I do to heal? Thanks for reading. Comment. The paranoia never leaves? Most likely, it will even spring up in future relationships. It might settle a bit, but it will keep springing up. I've thought about that too. I've never had a lot of trust in people to begin with because I grew up witnessing men I knew being shit, and also friends and people I know always dealing with cheating to the point of where it feels like just something you expect. This has just solidified my fear, permanently. I don't have any specific advice about what you should do for your relationship, but I want to say I'm so sorry you're experiencing this. Please give yourself grace, kindness, understanding. Of course you're still suffering. There is a grieving process after having a break in trust with someone you love and care about. Additionally, this specific break in trust comes with a hit to your own sense of self and worth. So please, above anything else, let yourself be angry, sad, distraught. I do believe that if he's truly remorseful and wishes to rectify this, he will allow you to go through this process, standing at your side and accepting your pain. I also highly recommend a therapist. Definitely for you. Maybe for you both. So many hugs to you. Thank you so much. You are incredibly kind and I agree with everything. When he told me, the first day was so incredibly rough on me that I described it as though I felt like I was grieving a genuine death of someone close to me. I still have my moments, but you're right. The anger towards him stays put, but it's also turned into questioning my own worth. He is being incredibly patient with my anger and pain, which is not something everyone would do, especially if they didn't care. Yet there's still always going to be doubt. I have absolutely considered therapy at this point despite not liking it, and I have brought it up to him, but I only got a possibly, so we will see. I thank you so much again. You are so sweet and I wish you luck with everything in life just for this response alone. Next story 2. Partner was on apps for a whole year into our 2-year relationship. Throwaway account. A few months ago I found that my partner of 2 years had been on a popular hookup app for at least 1 year into our 2-year relationship. I had seen many signs, but dismissed them since I didn't want to seem overly jealous. Lesson learned, go with your gut instinct. I confronted him, but he was able to delete the app and the messages. I did manage to see the pictures he shared and those that were shared by other users. His profile literally said Netflix and chill, but he claimed he only uses it to chat with folks because he was lonely. His profile and pictures definitely did not suggest just looking for friends or chat. We've been trying to make it work for the last couple of months. I even offered to open the relationship so long as he's honest with me about what he's up to. He rejected the offer, many promises of love were made, and we marshaled on. Of course my feelings for him took a big hit, and things just don't feel the same. What he doesn't know, or remember, is that I found his account on another hookup app at the same time that I found the other one. I kept both apps on my phone just in case because, as one friend told me, once a cheater, always a cheater. Lo and behold, the profile popped up this evening on the other app. At this point I'm beyond the heartbreak and just tired of the lies. I am emotionally exhausted, not even mad at this point, which I think is a bad sign since I think it suggests that I might not care anymore. I'm debating what to do next. Comment. Create a fake account in this app, get in touch with him. This is how you find out what he understands by Netflix and chill. Are you married? If so, lawyer up. If not, what are the living arrangements? Are you on a lease together? If you don't live together, get anything of yours out of his place, bag up all of his stuff at yours, and dump his ass. I would want to do the fake account, arrange a date and dump him in public in front of his friends maybe. But think I could be going too far and wouldn't want to suggest something that could come back to hurt you. Next story 3. Found out my ex, who I share a son with, cheated on me while we were together. I don't know how to feel. Quick backstory. Me and my son's mother broke up about 4.5 years ago now. He was about 16 months old at the time. It wasn't messy or anything, she ended it, but everything was done pretty peacefully, dividing everything, how custody would go, etc. We get on well still. She's actually married now and about to have a daughter with her husband. I'm enjoying the single life as we were together pretty much all of my 20s. This past weekend on a night out I ran into an old friend of hers who I knew pretty well too and got chatting for about 30 to 40 minutes. We were both pretty bomb TBF, and as the chat went along she started to say that while they used to be real good friends there was a reason why she stopped talking to her. Then said she always thought she treated me like shit. A lot of people have said this to me, and I realized after we broke up, and that she really started to get annoyed by some of her actions when they would go out. I knew she was flirty type of chick but had never thought she would ever do anything. Anyway, I said this to her friend and she stopped me and said well she did. Needless to say I was pretty shocked. She then proceeds to tell me about a weekend away that her and a group of girls went on with my ex. During one of the nights my ex had disappeared for about 45 minutes, and when her friend went back to the room to grab some makeup walked in on my ex fucking a guy from the group they met when they first went out that night. The guy left. My ex asked if she was going out. Oh, tell me. She said she wasn't, but you have to. She then said we were pretty much over anyway and she will. This happened about 9 months before she got pregnant with our son. We are obviously long over, but I actually feel pretty sick about it and pretty pissed. I don't see the point of bringing it up given the life she has now, but still. I don't feel great. Has anyone ever found out about cheating long after it happened, and how did you feel go about it? Edit, I'll add, and thanks for the concern and advice. That my son is the splitting image of me as a child, has all my features etc. I haven't doubted he is mine at all, but yeah, maybe that is a wise idea. But what happens from there? He is always going to be my son, I love him to bits. Comment. Test your son. You have no allies, everyone knew and everyone looked for an excuse not to tell you. If I were you, what I would do is do a DNA test on the son you have without saying anything to your ex. From what you have discovered that she was cheating on you since before she got pregnant, obviously all her friends knew that she was cheating on you. And how her friends are the same as her, they didn't say anything because they also have to see other men fuck too. That's why when they say they're going out with their friends I don't believe that story. They go to see their lovers. Poor the husband who has what has. Now he will do the same because an infidel does not take away that skill. I would tell her husband to screw up her life just like he ruined you. Yours. Well, I wouldn't say she ruined my life. Thanks for the advice, but if I'm being honest I don't see the point in brining it up with her husband. For starters, why would he believe me? Yeah, we get on well, but is he just going to take my word for it? And let's say he does, what happens from there? He isn't going to leave his wife because she cheated on me 7 years ago. All it would do is perhaps make him become suspicious whenever she goes out, which isn't very often anymore considering they have a very young family. The one thing I do like is that my son has a very stable home life on his mother's side. His stepdad is a pretty good dude. I really don't want to ruin that.